Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into a really fascinating topic, the evolution of AI models and how competition is reshaping the landscape. If you think about it, AI is kind of like a race car. Every company out there is tweaking their engines, trying to come up with the fastest, most efficient model. Take OpenAI, Google, and DeepSeek, for instance. They're like the top-tier race teams right now, pulling ahead with their innovations, right?
Yeah, that's super interesting. It's almost like an arms race, but for tech. Does that mean the fastest AI is going to win, or?
Exactly. It's not just about speed, though. It's also about performance and cost efficiency. Imagine, for instance, you're building a sports car. Sure, it's got to go fast, but you also need it to be fuel efficient and cost-effective to produce. Recently, we've seen models like OpenAI's R3 Mini leading the pack in intelligence, while DeepSeek's R1 shines when it comes to speed and cost efficiency. It's really about having that perfect blend,
That's a neat analogy. So do you think the pressure from companies is more about innovation than just racing to the finish line?
Great point. It's like a balancing act. On one hand, you need to adapt quickly, just like in sports where teams are constantly analyzing opponents and refining strategies. And then, there's China's AI sector, which is growing at lightning speed. They've got over 4,300 companies and are eyeing a $70 billion industry, aiming to lead globally by 2030. It's like they're training the next Olympic team for AI.
Wow, that's a lot of companies. So what hurdles are they facing? Do they have their own training injuries?
Yes, exactly. The training injuries, in this case, are US chip restrictions. Those limitations can slow their progress, much like how an athlete might struggle with injuries. But despite that, certain models like DeepSeek and QN are competitive, sometimes even outperforming their American counterparts. It's like discovering a raw talent on the team that makes everyone else rethink their training routine.
So it's a mix of talent and strategy, right? What about xAI's Grok? I've heard a bit about that one. How does it fit into this dramatic AI showdown?
Grok. So, xAI's Grok, developed by Elon Musk's folks, has been a game changer. It has real-time access to X data, and interestingly, it outperforms some versions of ChatGPT on specific tasks. Think of it as a secret weapon. Sometimes it launches just out of nowhere and surprises everyone, like that underdog athlete that suddenly breaks records.
That's awesome. So it's not just the big names anymore. Even newcomers can shake things up, right?
Absolutely. It's a shifting landscape, with competition intensifying between players like OpenAI, Google, Meta, and these up-and-coming Chinese firms. We're seeing over 30 large language models ranked now, and it's setting a precedent for what these capabilities mean for the future. Intense competition drives everyone to improve, like how rivalries in sports can elevate the game.
I'm starting to picture a real-life sports league for A, but with tech geeks instead of athletes. So what about the funding and investment side? China seems to be really ramping it up, right?
Spot on. China's got a goal for a whopping $140.9 billion AI industry, spearheaded by significant venture capital investments. It's like they're building a Premier League team with star players like Baidu and Tencent, and a slew of innovative startups. They're leading in generative AI patents, far surpassing the US. It's a bold move, kind of like betting on a rookie who turns out to be a superstar.
Oh man, I love that. But are there ethical issues or anything that might affect their chances, like the rules of the game?
Definitely. They face hurdles like US chip export controls and regulatory challenges that could stifle innovation. Plus, attracting the right talent can be contentious, especially with global tensions. It's like trying to maintain team morale amidst a scandal. Very tricky.
Wow, so there's so much at play. So with this competitive milieu and all these benchmarks, do you see a future where we might have an AI championship, per se?
That's an interesting thought. With all these models evolving, we could see something resembling an annual championship event for AI models, where they face off in various tasks. Imagine that, watching the world's best AIs competing live. It'd be thrilling, much like a classic playoff game.
Haha, yeah, sign me up for that. So with all of this innovation and competition, where do you think we're heading in the long term?
Well, as we move forward, I see AI becoming more integrated into our daily lives, with a stronger emphasis on performance, accessibility, and collaboration across borders. The industry is in a constant state of evolution, much like a living organism, or a sports team that keeps recalibrating strategies to stay ahead. It's not just about who wins today, but how we all grow from this competitive landscape.
Wow, that's really mind-blowing. So it's less about the race and more about the journey and cooperation along the way. I love that outlook.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of this whole AEI saga. With every iteration, we're not just witnessing progress, we're experiencing a collective drive towards a smarter future.
I can really see that. It feels like we're all on this exciting ride together, huh?
Absolutely. The journey is just as thrilling as any destination we reach. Each new challenge or innovation becomes part of our evolving story.
That's so cool. It's like we're all players in this massive game of AI. I can't wait to see where it leads.